Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we are back in Marvel and DC Battlegrounds, and we're going to be doing top 10 best characters in Marvel and DC Battlegrounds, and I did unlock everyone, and I will be doing a DC character showcase for my 200 subscriber special. We only need like 10 more subs until we're at 200, so make sure to like and subscribe. And according to YouTube, only 2% of you guys that watch my videos are subscribed, so make sure to subscribe. And let's get into the video. Okay, starting off at number 10, I actually placed Shazam at number 10. Why? Because, well, he's good and all. That's why he's on the list. But his main, attack right here, it should do a little bit more damage. And, yeah, I'm not really a big fan of where you have to aim a lot and it doesn't do, surround damage. And he does have a lightning bolt like Thor. And he can do this ground pound, which is pretty strong. And he just has a normal punching. But it's just that first attack that made me place him at number 10. Okay, at number 9 we do have Hawkeye. And for me, he would honestly be my top 5. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to put him at number 9. Primarily for the same reasons as Shazam, because you have to aim a lot, and I'm not really a fan of having to hit your shots directly. And he also doesn't have a melee weapon, which I like to use melee when I have to. But he is really strong. That's how he also made it on this list. He is, I guess, stronger than Shazam in some ways. He does have this arrow thing where he can fire several arrows at a time, and if you are close enough, it does do a lot of damage. And then he also does have the arrow that blows stuff up, and so yeah. Okay, moving on to number 8, we do have Jean Grey. I do have her pretty low on the list because, well, she doesn't really have that good of attacks, I guess. So as you can see, she has this attack right here that makes everyone, slow down, I guess. Not the best. Only used, just for slowing down your enemy. And then she does have this normal attack blast, which is pretty good. And then she does have this thing right here, which is really useless. It does, nothing. I actually have, no idea what it does, so that's why she is at number 9. Okay, and number 7, we actually do have Thanos. And honestly, I would have placed him near the top of the list, but the fact that he doesn't have melee, that's my biggest concern, because melee is one of the strongest things that people have. Instead, he could just teleport, and he has this thing which is pretty useless. Honestly, all it does is just make you disappear for 2 seconds, or not even 2 seconds. It just makes you disappear for 1 second, and then, yeah, and then you just reappear. It's really useless. But then he does have that teleportation thing. He does have this, which is pretty good. He does have the Power Stone, which is also really good. It's good for killing off your enemies in a fast period of time. And yeah, that's basically just why I do have him this low on the list. Okay, at number 6, we do have Daredevil. And honestly, he's really good. His attacks are really good, and I don't really have much to say that's bad about him. It's just that there's other people that are better than him that I did place higher on this list. But yeah, he would be number 6 for me. Okay, moving on to number 5, we have Giant Man. My main concern about this is that when you are big, you do get targeted a lot. He does do a lot of damage, but there are others that can do the same amount of damage, but in a faster period of time. And yeah, he is really good. He also has this ability to jump on people, which does around the same amount of damage as the stomp that he does. And then, of course, he can turn back into his small size, but he does take damage pretty fast. Okay, at number 4 we have Zatana, and honestly I would have placed her lower on this list, but her attacks are really good. But my main concern for her is that this attack that she does that I'm doing right now, it has a cooldown, which, yeah, this attack shouldn't have a cooldown because there's other characters like Raven and stuff that can do that same attack with the same amount of damage, and they don't have a cooldown, which is my main concern. She can do that wall, which is part of the reason why she's up high on this list, and yeah. Okay, number 3, we have Moon Knight, and he is just way too OP. He does have 2 sides, which does affect his abilities. So he can turn into like his normal Moon Knight, which does have this crescent moon that he does throw around, and it does a lot of damage. It does like 50% of their health, or at least to normal characters, it does like 50% of their health. And it's super strong, and he also has this like spin punch that he does, which is good for finishing off enemies. And then he has his normal punch too, and then he has Mr. Knight, which is honestly his worst side because he can do that same thing as Jean Grey, where he just like slows down your enemy. And then he has this other thing where he just hits them. And then he can also turn back into Moon Knight. At number 2, we do have Raven. Now, she is 1,000 coins, and she is really OP, because she can do that. She can like fling a bird at you, and then it does a whole lot of damage. And it also follows your target for a short amount of time until it does like blow up, I guess. And then she has this other thing where she does that, like a black orb around you, and it does a lot of damage. And then she also has this other thing that she does, which like gives you that black aurora around you, and it does damage to you over time. And yeah, overall she is really OP. Okay, and at number 1 we have Darkseid. And he is just super OP. He is the most expensive character in the game. Yeah, so I just unlocked him like a few minutes ago as of recording this. And yeah, he's super OP. He can like shoot these laser things out of his eye. He can do this rock thing which does a lot of damage. And then he has these lasers that he shoots out of his eyes, which also does a lot of damage. And then he has this punch, which also does a lot of damage. That will do it for this video. If anything on this list was lower or higher than what you expected, make sure to comment down below your list of top 10 characters. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.